Okay, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Embracing Inner Peace, a gathering of light workers. And I'm just so excited about today, as we've been anticipating this event for quite some time, and it's really great that it's finally here and got lots of great things to happen throughout the day. I'm going to go into further detail about that in just a few minutes, but I invite you right now to join me and join this lady here, Jagdeesh, as she opens this beautiful event with her magical gong. So if you'll close your eyes, uncross your legs, take a few deep breaths, and just envision your heart opening up, receiving the blessings of this day. And we send this love beyond this room, beyond this part of the country, to all of our brothers and sisters throughout the world. my prayer is that that was felt throughout the world, because it was felt throughout my entire being. And that's what we're here to do today together, is to ground peace in the world, love in the world, harmony and joy. And we're going to have a great day. And I know that we've got great speakers lined up. Our volunteers have worked so hard to make this event happen. And I just want to thank each and every one of you all for being here today as well. Today's event, I want to give you a little background. It was, the top logo is from Coptic Fellowship International. And the Coptic Fellowship actually has had these events going on in Johnson City for quite a long time. And a few years back, a couple of Coptic ministers in the area, Lori France and Ron Prickett, they actually decided to bring one to us here in the Asheville, Hendersonville, Flat Rock area. And it's a wonderful conference. The first time I went, I was just so grateful to be a part of it, to actually just feel the energy and the love and just all that goes with this wonderful organization and this terrific event. And one thing that makes this event so spectacular and awesome is that, we have world-class speakers and presenters come in. And in addition to that, they come in at a very reduced rate, way less than what they would charge normally, to support this event and this cause. And I want to thank them so much for doing this, because it couldn't happen without a lot of people working together to bring this whole event to being. And so today, it's not a free event necessarily, but it's a love offering. So a couple of times throughout the day, we're going to be passing a basket and encourage you to really go into your heart and give what you feel is appropriate. And I know that every year we have made our expenses, and that's a great thing. So I know today we're going to have an excellent day as well. So I'm Charlotte McGinnis, and I'm actually the founder and spiritual leader of the Namaste Center. And what happened was, a couple of years ago, Ron Prickett and Lori, we were in discussion, Lori France, and they had asked if the Namaste Center would like to participate, because we have an active community, a lot of great people here, volunteers that could help support it. Plus, we were just so much in alignment with who we are and what we believe, which is all about peace and love in the world and harmony. So, of course, I didn't take a minute to say yes, and I'm so grateful I did. But I want to take a minute to thank the volunteers. This was the committee. We met weekly for many, many months. This past week has been a nonstop grocery shopping, cooking, prepping, chopping, organizing the sign-ups, all of which makes this event possible. So I would appreciate it, and of course I want to thank everyone here today. If you could just give a big hand and thank you to everyone who made this possible. Thank you from my heart, because I've seen what people have done, and it just came together in perfect harmony and just flowed so beautifully, and for that I'm just beyond grateful. Now, today's schedule, our first speaker, of course this is all in your program. If you don't have a program, you can get one out in the lobby in just a few minutes, but this is what we have going for the day, so we got a great day. One thing I do want to mention is lunch. Okay, we're making rice bowls. I don't know if any of you guys came for Greg Braden or not. We had him in this very auditorium just a few months back. But doing the food was always an issue, and we got a lot of giggles out of that, because we have vegetarians, vegans, carnivores, gluten-free, sugar-free, and I'm like, so to organize the food for an event is not an easy thing. So we thought, okay, how can we make something that everyone can eat and be sustained by and make it delicious? So what we have is rice bowls, which is organic lettuces and lots and lots of different chopped vegetables. You'll have plenty of vegetables to choose from. And then if you opt for rice, you may have rice and beans, black beans, and then we have some really delicious sauces to go with it. And everyone can have a cookie and a bottle of water. It's going to be really yummy. And so if you want to partake in lunch, you can buy a ticket for $10 at the break, and you'll get a wristband, and you can enjoy a delicious, healthy lunch, okay? So that's going to be coming up, obviously, in a few hours at 12:15. I do want to take a moment. This man was a wonderful being, and he actually, along with Lori France, co-founded this, as I said earlier. And he succumbed to cancer last year, and beautiful, beautiful being. He had made his mark here on earth. He was a light, as you can see by his eyes and his smile. Lovely, lovely man. So we've decided today to dedicate this event to him. So take a moment, go into your heart, and just give thanks for Ron Cricket and all the love he brought to this earth as we dedicate this day to his memory and the love he shared with each and every one of us and so many more. And we know he's with us, and for that, we are eternally grateful. So it is. So before I introduce our first speaker, who's also an awesome being, I do want to just point out a couple of things here. In your bulletins or programs, you'll notice that there is a card here, Theo. I don't know if you all are familiar with this wonderful being, Sheila Gillette, but she actually channels a consortium of angels, which are called Theo, T-H-E-O. And I don't know if you know anything about this woman or not, but I will tell you, a very good friend of mine. Great people, she and her husband, Marcus, they really are remarkable with what they do. But Sheila was actually the inspiration and the mentor to Esther Hicks, and actually led Esther Hicks into becoming Abraham. Okay, so this woman is, if you've never experienced Theo, don't miss this opportunity, truly. It's going to be September 16th, which just happens to be my birthday. So you can bring a birthday present, that's fine. If you want to come, I'll take it. And so I'll be happy to take that, and really. But it's going to be in Asheville at the Renaissance Inn. And it's an awesome event, does include lunch all day. Theo's messages are very powerful. There's one-on-one opportunities throughout the day that you'll receive a personal message, and I think you'll be blown away in a good way by that experience. So I really encourage you to make mark your calendar, save the date, because this will be an awesome, awesome day. Also, in your program, you'll see here we have a evaluation questionnaire, okay? Just so we can get a pulse on what you liked, what we could do better, and maybe what you didn't care for so much. But anyway, it just gives us an idea of how we can better serve you next year, because I'm sure we'll have another event next year. So if you'll fill these out, obviously you'll need to do it before you leave. And there's 2 boxes. There's one back in the corner, right back there. And if you can drop it in the box on your way out the door. Also, if you choose to make a donation today by charge, you can actually see those ladies back there. They'll make sure that they get the donation taken care of, and then you can drop this off, as I said, on the way out. There's also a box at the front registration area that'll be put out there a little later today. So please take a few minutes and do this for us. It really does help, okay? So in a moment, we're going to have the pleasure of experiencing the energy of an awesome, awesome man who I met just a few years ago, and he's our first speaker, John Davis, and he is the executive director, the big kahuna of the Coptic Fellowship International. But I just want to preface this before I tell you, what his credentials are. He's one of the most loving, beautiful beings that I've ever met, and I mean that from my heart. He's just so sincere and beautiful and loving, and I'm just grateful to call him our friend. So anyway, John is an esoteric psychologist, counselor, Egyptologist, author, and numerologist. And he's also the director of Coptic Fellowship International, which is a philosophy based on the mystery schools of ancient Egypt. John is the president of Spiritual Unity of Nations, dedicated to the world as one family. His books, Messiah and the Second Coming and Revelation for Our Time, are positive prophecies for our new millennium. There are books of John's out there available. I'm sure he'd be glad to sign one for you if you're interested. They're out at the table close to registration. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome John Davis to the stage, and he's going to share with us how to be the light of the world.